Today we're going to look at what happens when we try to take our partners back and we end up getting rolled through. And a lot of times this is either because your partner is going up to turtle to avoid having the cross-side position established, or they're trying to makikomi, roll you, trap your arm and take you over. So what are we talking about? Well, any pass that you do, especially like a low pass, for instance, over-under pass, double unders, over-under pass, or a body lock, for instance, here, where we have our partner in the place where their arms are initially here, up, and we have to make a transition from our partner's hip line up to their shoulder line up to their head. When we feel this happening, often what we'll do is we'll take an arm underneath our partner's arm and we'll push our chest forward to get back exposure here. But you can see what's happening. I'm encouraging him in a way to hit this roll, and if I'm a little bit behind, in my transition, he can easily, before I lock my hands, or even after I lock my hands, he's going to start to come up, get to turtle, and then if my arms are not locked, sometimes he'll hit a shoulder roll here, replace the guard. If my arms are locked, when he goes to get up, sometimes he'll trap my arm and then continue rolling here and take me through. Before I know it, I'm on the bottom instead of the top. Okay, so look at that just one more time. So we're here, we pass, our partner turns away from us and hits almost like a kind of quasi makikomi roll. He comes up and traps, and then we land here before we're prepared to begin to attack. Our partner's turning into us. Now your grips are a little, they feel weak and almost like a liability. Okay? So what do we need to do? Well, when we pass our partner's guard here and we're beginning to set up the back exposure, we're going to lock our hands here, figure four, grip around our partner's wrist. Okay? If you can't do that and control the wrist for whatever reason, you can always lock just your hands, right? In the same sort of back-headed on position you would use if you were directly behind your partner with the hooks inside. When we feel our partner starting to turn, go ahead, and we realize we're going over, we're going to deliberately try to align our body with our partner's shoulders, okay? So instead of landing down by his legs, as I feel him rolling me through, we're going to go ahead and we're going to land here in this good position where we're up by our partner's shoulders. This is very similar to the t-kimura. Some of you have seen that before. But regardless, we're up here by our partner's shoulder line. We have to keep our partner's head resting on our chest. If he slips down here, we end up with a problem. The space between his head and my chest allow him to adjust his angle. This grip is not sufficient to be able to hold him in place, and a lot of times your partner will come up on top of you, okay? Go back. So we stay here, we tighten our grip by drawing our hands in. Now from here, we're going to look to trap our partner's arm using kind of a crucifix method. To do that, you're going to want to walk a little closer to your partner's arm. If you're staying too far away and you try to reach, you won't be able to get your partner's arm. So you're going to walk in just a little bit so that you can trap your partner's arm with your top leg. Now from here, we're going to draw that arm back. Sometimes you can keep your partner's arms separate, okay? But in the case we're looking at today, if we can do this, then that's great. But your partner will often join their hands here. Go ahead, lock your hands here. And this now makes your ability to keep your partner's arms separated and going to your crucifix attacks very difficult. However, it does glue them in place here. So we're going to take our bottom leg, we're going to move our body away from our partner, we're going to heist up here. So I'm going to bring the hips up, almost as if we're going to step over into kimura. When our partner drops their head through, look how we're going to raise our right leg, allow our partner's head to fall, not to the mat, but onto the pillow of our thigh. Now that he's here, we're in a position where we can cross our feet. This initial crossing is not the finished triangle. All right, it's just a control method to prevent our partner from escaping further. We're not scissoring the legs, okay? We're simply drawing our top leg back. Now you'll notice what happens to his arm. When we draw this leg back, it brings his arm higher up and brings the deltoid closer to the carotid. When we're ready to fully lock, we're going to back heel with our top hand releases, hold the elbow. We turn our belly down to the floor. Now we can lock up a nice tight triangle here, and we have a very strong finish, okay? So we'll go through it again. What we're trying to do is off the roll, align ourselves up by our partner's shoulder, that's 1. Capture the leg, that's 2. Capture the arm, rather, with the crucifix, that's 2. And then 3, control the head and the arm in a way that allows us to get to the triangle position, okay? So part one, we're passing the guard. Part two, our partner is turning. Part three, they hit the roll. We want to align up here with the shoulders. Now, we walk in a little bit and we capture the arm. If we have the crucifix from here, there are a number of submissions we can hit, including a straight arm lock. From this position, we can start to look to work our top arm in for the strangle. But when your partner locks their hands here, straighten your legs, please. When your partner locks their hands here, it's very difficult to either extract their arm or to be able to work this hand in because this grip is now a little bit compromised. When we're in this position, we're going to straighten our top leg. We're going to flip our partner's head by raising our elbow. And now we're going to plant our pinky toe on the mat. We're going to bring the hips up. As his head drops through, we're going to allow it to rest on the pillow of our top leg. Okay, so just rotate this with me. So look at the transition one more time. So our bottom leg here is underneath our partner's shoulder. So as we hip up, we can capture. We don't want to let that head touch the floor. We want to keep our leg in place. Now, your top hand here is going to reach. You're going to hold your partner's elbow. We're going to back heel with our top leg, and look how our two knees turn down towards the mat. Now from here, we can lock up the figure four. We have a strong finish, and we're ready to submit our part. Okay, so let's just look in detail quickly at the crucifix position. So just lie down with your feet tapped, please. Okay, so here we are. Our top leg is reaching to capture our partner's arm on the far side. We're controlling a figure four grip. We're releasing our partner's head. We're going to heist up. So this is very important that your pinky toe goes on the floor, your belly goes towards the mat, and now out of here, you can allow your partner's head to drop and capture. So look at this from the reverse angle. So we capture the arm here. We plant our bottom foot on the floor. We raise our hips up, and then we allow our partner's head to slip through the space. Now we can create the back heel that we need. Hold our partner's elbow, and very important, our hips are going to invert so we go belly down to the mat so that we can lock. Out of this position, you have a very strong finish here for this version of the side triangle, all right? So we have a couple of issues that we're looking to address. One is the roll out of our partner's defense to the back position, out of the transition to cross side. Number two, we're looking to trap an arm in control so that we can begin to work crucifix attacks. Number three, we're looking at dealing with this all too common condition where our partner locks their hands in a 10-finger grip. They prevent us from extracting and working the crucifix. So instead, we look to drop their head into the position that we need in order to be able to finish with the the side triangle. Okay. So hopefully this will give you some guidance around what to do when you do get rolled to be able to maintain your back position, crucifix attacks, and then also the ability to enter in the triangle. Okay. Thanks for watching. See you soon.